Hello and welcome to a deep dive into the iconic Mass Effect trilogy. In this video series, I'll explain the story and exactly what happens in BioWare's famed three-part adventure. Now, for transparency, I feel I need to admit that the footage you're seeing on screen is from the more recently released Legendary edition of the game, so it's had somewhat of a makeover from the original game, but the story remains the same, so serves for the purpose of the video. Now, I'm not one to hassle you throughout the video, so if you do like my recap at any point, then please do hit subscribe. It is massively appreciated. This should go without saying, but just in case, spoilers are obviously ahead for Mass Effect 1. We are Commander Shepard, optional male or female. I went for female on this playthrough. We can choose our backstory, which affects how some of the side missions and dialogue plays out, but it doesn't impact the main story outcome. Regardless, Shepard is a renowned and well-respected soldier in the Alliance military, which is basically what the human military is now called. Alliance Captain Anderson introduces us to a Turian named Nihilus, who is a Spectre, which is a specialized military rank. The Citadel Council are considering making Shepard a Spectre, becoming the first human to ever achieve the rank, and Nihilus is here to observe us on a mission to see if we're worthy. The mission in question would see us pick up a recently discovered Prothean beacon, the like of which hasn't been seen for a long time. The Protheans are an ancient and now extinct race. On a planet called Eden Prime, we squad up with soldiers named Caden Alenko and Ashley Williams. We then discover hostiles, specifically a tech race known as the Geth. We track down Nihilus, who had carried on ahead. However, the Spectre is then murdered by a fellow Turian Spectre, Saren. Nice little cameo there, Nihilus. The rogue Spectre appears to be here for the same reason as us, the Prothean beacon, and orders the Geth under his command to destroy the facility. Naturally, this is a video game and, I'm the main character, so that doesn't happen. We kill the Geth and disable the bombs, but Saren does escape. Shepard, however, when approaching the beacon, encounters a vision, seemingly foreshadowing a war, although it is very cryptic. After the vision, the beacon is destroyed. Meanwhile, we see this big-boobed blue lady known as the Matriarch break the news to Saren that a human used the beacon, to which Saren has a right old tantrum and then says,
"This human must be eliminated."
And I
don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
We arrive at the Citadel, which is the center of operations in the galaxy, and confront the Council, who are like the space government. And just like the British government, they're useless. They refuse to believe that Saren has gone rogue, and the dickhead even attends the meeting himself via the space equivalent of a Zoom call. They also dismiss the vision that Shepard experienced as nonsense. All in all, a successful meeting. With the help of one of our newly acquired companions, Tali, we discover a recording between Saren and the Matriarch discussing their plans, and hear mention of the Reapers, an ancient and feared race now believed to be extinct. With the damning evidence, we return to the shit show that is the Council, and this time, they believe us. They revoke Saren's Spectre status and make us one in the process. A landmark moment for humanity, but more importantly, it gets us access to some cool new guns. Alongside our ever-growing gang of companions, many of which feature across the whole trilogy, but for timing I'll only mention them when they're specifically involved in the main story, we set out on a mission to find Saren and the Matriarch and stop them from whatever their plans may be, which at this point still remains somewhat hazy. Before leaving, Councillor Udina tells us that Captain Anderson is stepping down as commander of the Normandy ship, and that ship is now ours. It doesn't take an expert in body language to learn that this is more of a forced resignation than a chosen one. But still, fuck it. Not going to say no to a new ship, am I? On our travels, we meet Dr. Liara Tassoni, who is the daughter of Matriarch Benezia. You remember that big-boobed blue lady from earlier? Liara's bosom is less prominent, and she's also a bit less evil, and agrees to help us find her mother. Liara is somewhat of an expert on beacons and Prothean relics, and over the course of the game, helps Shepard understand his or her visions a little bit more. We eventually track down Benezia and her big boobs, and we find out that she's breeding an army of Arachni, a feared insect race, also believed to be extinct, with the intention of them serving in Saren's army. Shepard says,
"You won't look so smug with a hole in your head."
And a pretty intense fight ensues. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, Shepard is the main character and features in the entire trilogy, so yeah, we win. After the fight, the matriarch claims that Saren's ship, Sovereign, has unique mind control capabilities, and prolonged exposure to it leads you to doing Saren's will, a process which is known as indoctrination. Push-Up Bra states that she is not evil and she is just indoctrinated and is trying to fight it. Ultimately, however, she cannot, and before telling Liara that she is proud of her, attacks us once more, forcing Shepard to kill her. Before leaving, the Rachni Queen speaks to us via a possessed body. We have the option to kill her, exterminating the Rachni race, or freeing them. This decision does play a role in later Mass Effect games. I chose to free them. We later attempt to find a cipher, which Liara suggests can help us understand our earlier vision. The quest leads us to the Thorian, an ancient plant which is older than the Protheans and has mind control capabilities, much like Saren's ship, Sovereign. After destroying the plant and freeing the civilians caught up in its mind control grasp, Shiala, an Asari who was previously working for Saren, who was sacrificed to be a slave for the Thorian, gives us the cipher, which is almost like a data transfer between minds, which afterwards allows Shepard to understand more of the vision as well as gaining some knowledge on the Prothean race. Yes, I know this whole section feels a bit weird. Short story is, Shepard understands things a bit more now. The Council soon contact us and alert us to a distress call on the planet of Vermeer, which they believe is something to do with Saren. On the planet, we learn that Saren has a science facility nearby in which he is attempting to breed a Krogan army. One of our companions, Rex, a Krogan himself, asks how, as many years ago during a war, the Solarians and the Turians created and deployed a genetic weapon called the genophage, which infected Krogans and prevented them from ever reproducing. It's soon learned that Saren has apparently discovered a cure for the genophage. Shepard and co plan to destroy the facility to halt Saren's plans, but Rex disagrees, wanting to protect the supposed cure to help the future of his race. This leads to a standoff and many outcomes are available here. Rex can live if the right speech checks are passed, but in my game, Ashley Williams, protecting her commander, kills Rex. If Rex survives, he will feature as part of our crew for the rest of the story. Within the base, after activating another beacon, we speak to Sovereign, Saren's ship, except it's not a ship at all. Wait for it, dum dum dum, it's a Reaper. Soren explains the Reaper's plans, which are far from straightforward, but here goes. The Reapers created the Mass Effect relays many years ago, which now allow alien races to travel across space and, more importantly, provides the name for this game series. The Reapers hide outside of the galaxy in a place called Dark Space, allowing organic races to develop their technology and intelligence before then returning and harvesting them, basically killing them and absorbing their technology. I know what you're thinking, seems like a lot of effort just to get the newest iPhone, but here we are. The Reapers refer to this as the extinction cycle, and it has been happening for millions of years. Despite this being a lovely conversation which makes perfect sense and didn't have me trawling through a Reddit thread to try and work out what the hell was going on, our robot buddy soon says,
Your words are as empty as your future. I am the vanguard of your destruction. This exchange is over.
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
When leaving the facility, we are attacked by Saren, who claims that Sovereign and the Reapers will reward his allegiance and won't harvest him. It's soon very obvious that Saren himself is indoctrinated by Sovereign and is not of free mind. He does, however, mention a conduit, which clearly Sovereign needs. Saren escapes, and then we're forced into a decision. With both Kaidan and Ashley pinned down, we must choose to save one. I always thought Ashley was a bit weird, and also she's a little bit racist, so sorry Ash, we're an inclusive ship, and I chose Kaidan. Whoever you choose to leave will be left behind and will die in the explosion. We managed to discover that the conduit that Sovereign and Saren are seeking is on a planet called Elos, an ancient Prothean world. However, remember those Killjoy dudes in the council? Well, yep, they're back again to piss on our chips. They claim that Shepard has done their job and that they can handle it from here. Furthermore, Councillor Udina tells us that our access to the Normandy ship has been revoked and we're grounded on the Citadel until further notice. Naturally, I'm like, fuck this, I'm the main character. We reach out to Captain Anderson, another Alliance member who knows how it feels to be put in a forced vacation. Anderson helps us hatch a plan to essentially steal the Normandy. And despite it being one of the most famous ships in the galaxy at this moment in time, we easily take the ship and head towards Elos. And, of course, wave goodbye to the Council in the process. On Elos, we naturally find no Protheans, as they are now extinct, but we do find an old Prothean virtual intelligence, which gives us more insight into how the Reapers defeated and wiped out the Protheans all those years ago. The VI, Vigil, explains that the Citadel, which was the center of the Prothean population just as it is now for us, is actually a mass relay built by the Reapers and connected to dark space. When signaled, the Reapers will return into the Citadel and wipe us out from within, as they did with the Protheans. The invasion is triggered by Keepers, strange little creatures that act as caretakers on the Citadel. When the time is right, they open the access for the Reapers as programmed. However, he also explains that during the last invasion, some Protheans survived through cryogenic sleep and managed to reverse the Citadel programming, meaning that when the signal was activated this time, nothing happened, which is why Sovereign, a fail-safe Reaper that was left behind in the case of anything going wrong, was forced to use Saren to manually open the mass relay from within the Citadel. The conduit is a means to relay into the Citadel like a secret back door built by the Protheans. Still with me? Good, because I'm kind of confusing myself a little bit here. Saren gets through the conduit, but we follow just behind. Saren and his Geth army quickly infiltrate and take over the Citadel, while Sovereign arrives with an armada of Geth ships and attacks the Alliance fleet, before docking within the Citadel. Meanwhile, Saren attempts to override the system and open the mass relay and start the Reaper invasion. But hey Saren, if you haven't noticed yet, I'm the main character and I'm here to stop you. During the fight, we can talk to Saren, and if we have accrued enough skills, we can talk him out of his indoctrination. However, this is a video games and happy endings don't exist. Racked by his guilt and his actions, Saren kills himself. If you don't wake him up from his indoctrination, he dies by your hand. However, those speech points were a complete waste of time, as Sovereign then possesses Saren and we're forced to fight him anyway, except now he's basically Saren on steroids. But a combination of plot armor and autosaves, I win, and Saren dies again. We receive an SOS call from the Ascension, the ship that houses the Council members. We basically have to choose to tell the rest of the Alliance fleet to either save the Council or to focus on Sovereign. In the easiest decision of the game, I tell the fleet to focus on Sovereign, and the Ascension and the Council are destroyed. Our fleet then engages Sovereign in an epic space fight, which, if you haven't noticed the recurring theme by now, Shepard always wins. And Sovereign is destroyed, and the Reaper invasion is averted. In the aftermath, Udina, who sadly survived, tells us that with the Council dead, the galaxy needs new leaders and suggests it should be a human who leads them. With that, we are presented with another choice as to who should lead the new Council, Udina or Captain Anderson. Thank you, BioWare, for providing us with another easy decision. We obviously choose Anderson. And with that, the game ends with Shepard and Anderson vowing to end the Reaper threat once and for all in the next game. Thank you for watching this video. I will be recapping the whole trilogy when the next video is done. It will appear here on this screen. Don't forget, if you enjoyed my video, please do hit subscribe. If not,